Hello, it's Judith here. In a recent session, I talked about the importance of gratitude. Gratitude can help you change your mindset from feeling perhaps negative about your life to feeling a bit more positive. It can improve your mood. And it's one of the tools that I recommend to people with anxiety, because anxiety makes us focus on the negative, makes us think about the things that have gone wrong, the things that may go wrong, the things that are not good in our lives at the moment. So we are continually feeding the anxiety, which was last week's topic. Typically, the advice with gratitude is, the smallest thing counts, and that's because particularly with people who are not feeling very positive, then they will say, well, I can't think of anything good that's happened in the last day, week, month, year, whatever. So suggesting that you look for the small things, the person that smiled at you when you were out shopping, or the person you smiled at and made their day a bit better. The short conversation you had at the checkout till, or whatever. Look for the tiniest little thing. There were 10 minutes of sunshine, whatever. Personally, what occurred to me over the weekend when I was doing some reflection was it's also important to remember the big things. Now, some people will focus on the really hard things that have happened to them in their lives, but most of us sort of try to move on, and then we forget how well we dealt with those hard times, or how lucky we were, or a combination of both. For me personally, I have been a successful survivor of cancer twice. Now that's pushing your luck a little bit, isn't it? The latest time was, well, it'll be 20 years ago this month when I was diagnosed with breast cancer. And then the previous time when it was thyroid cancer, it was 20 years before that. And in 20 years' time, I probably won't be here anyway. So hoping that the pattern stays like that. And yes, there is the first time my children were young, and that was the thing that was hardest to bear, the thought that I might not be with them as they grew up. I might not see them grown up. The second time, it was a shock. It was more of a shock the second time, because the other one was a bit more gradual, but it was more of a shock the second time, sort of, here I am, and all of a sudden in a few days I'm going for surgery. And fortunately, in these times when they're changing the cancer guidelines, I was very lucky both times. So first thing is the gratitude. How lucky is that? Not just to have cancer once in your life and survive it, but have a completely different cancer in your life and survive that one as well. And then gratitude to myself. As I say, the first time was hard because of the children. The second time, I had no doubts. And I don't know where that certainty came from. Even early on, when I didn't know what stage it was or how big it was or anything like that, but just that it was there, I had no doubts, absolutely no doubts. And that certainty, that belief, I think, is hugely important. Now, I don't want to put onto people that if they're not as lucky as me, it's all their fault, anything like that at all. But positivity does improve your chances of recovering from the smallest of illnesses like flu or cold, and to the largest ones like cancer we've talked about, heart attacks. Apparently with stroke victims, the people nursing them know that when they're beginning to recover, they can tell the ones that will get the best quality of life back, regardless of what their stroke is like, based totally upon the positivity or negativity of their attitude. So attitude is important, positivity is important, and looking at the things you've got to be grateful for will help you turn a positive mindset and turn a negative mindset and negative thoughts into a more positive mindset and a more positive thoughts. And don't expect miracles. Don't expect to go from complete and utter doom and gloom to absolute, awe and amazement and wonder at how amazing your life is. But every little bit helps. So yes, remember the little things, and also remember the big things. If you're lucky enough to have children and they're healthy children, they may be driving you nuts because it's summer and the weather's not good. But how lucky is that? How lucky is that? So look for the big things as well as the small things, and remember those big things. And remember, in my case, how lucky I am to be here, to be healthy, to be doing this video, to be seeing my next client. How amazing is that? How different it could have been. So here's to gratitude. And it's worth doing every day if you can. But again, don't beat yourself up if you can't do it every day. Do it when you remember, but try to remember more often. And it's nice if you can spend a bit of time in the evening and write it down before you go to sleep. But any moment you have during the day when you're driving somewhere or whatever, just think, what have I got to be grateful for? Not just today, but in the whole of my life. Okay, so here's to a grateful time before I'm here again next week. And until then, as always, as well as being grateful for what you've got, take care of yourself. And that also is going to help you if you're struggling at the moment. And if you are struggling, please get in touch. You know how. Okay. See you next time. Bye.